to another episode of Convention Confessional, and I got to admit, I'm very excited about today's guest. Just want to get right into it, honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the legendary voice actor, and I say legendary because the man has been in the business and pretty much done everything. You'll hear it from him himself, like everything. Ladies and gentlemen, it's true. Mr. Greg Finley. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Katie.
How are you?
I'm great, and it's so nice to be here with you. I'm excited about talking about convention.
I know. I'm super excited about talking conventions with you. So, I mean, it's not a lie, right? That you've pretty much done everything.
Well, my parole officer told me that I shouldn't talk about this, but I've pretty much done everything there is to do in voiceover. I've done cartoons and movies and television, and I've done one legendary anime show.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
what was it?
Robo
Robo
something,
something.
Robo something.
Yeah, Robo something.
Yeah.
Yep, you were
No,
Robotech, and
Robotech,
you
Captain
know,
Global, and General Leonard. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
you did quite a work on Robotech too. Didn't you do a lot of the line directing for that?
I did line directing. I wrote about 18 of the 70, I think it's 78 episodes. I wrote about 18 of them.
Wow,
And I had a great experience.
that's awesome.
It was really awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome. But you didn't get I'm pretty sure you weren't listed under Greg Finley for that, were you?
No, no. Robotech was a non-union job, and I joined SAG and AFTRA back in 1974. So when we did this cartoon series, we called it a cartoon series. We didn't call it anime back then. It was a
Right.
cartoon series. We did it in 1981, 82, and 83. Uh, uh, Actually, it finished it up in the late 82. But we had to do it under a different name because it was non-union. We
Right,
were
right.
paid, I believe we were paid about $25. I think it was about 25 bucks a session.
Wow.
Yeah, and sessions were 4 hours long. And then we were making, I think we got 300 bucks a script for writing. And we were paid the same as the actors as far as directing goes.
Wow.
So I got a lot of work. I mean, I worked a lot on that show. But
Yeah.
I did it under the name Guy Garrett. Those are my two sons' names,
Oh,
but that's
nice.
the name in the credit.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense now. Yeah, because I remember when we invited you to AAC the very first time you came out to New Hampshire,
Mhm.
and you came out as Greg Finley, but they said that you worked on Robotech, and no one could seem to figure out where you were in Robotech.
Yes, I remember.
We were just like, wait, you're a guy? Like, no, I'm Greg. We're like, okay, well, who's Guy? And you're like, that's my son. We're like, wait.
Yeah, good old Guy Garrett. He did a lot of work on RoboCheck.
Yeah, right. He was a
Yeah,
hustler.
just trying not to get in trouble with my union.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
I just don't care.
Now, yeah, right now it doesn't matter. You already have the check.
Exactly.
So, some other voiceover work that you did, other cartoon shows or movies, anything you'd like to list off to name a few?
Well, I'm currently working on a full length feature cartoon, which I can't divulge the title, but I believe it or not, I'm the lead voice. I'm the lead voice in the show, and it's going to be very exciting. Should
Oh
be
my god, that
released
is
in
exciting!
2022, which
Woohoo!
right around the corner. But
Nice.
I've worked on about 3,000 movies and television shows over the years, from cartoon shows, cartoon movies, Disney, to so many wonderful series. I was fortunate enough to do Cagney and Lacey, um, Northern Exposure, X Files. I did hundreds of episodes in those shows, and I had a really wonderful career.
Right.
The
Star
unknown
Trek.
face of I was known as the man of 1,000 voice.
Seriously,
Because no
though.
matter what I tried to do with even Captain Global, he sounds very much like this, I think. So, but it's me. It's just my voice. So I was very blessed to get the voice I got, and I loved doing voiceover work. It was just
It's a
so
great voice, I won't lie. It's a
oh,
really great voice.
oh shucks.
Oh man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be goofy.
No, no, that's fine. No, I just remember. Yeah. So AAC was that. So you said you went to a convention before in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I went to a Comic-Con once, just as a, not as an actor, but just to go visit,
Oh,
just to go
okay.
see
Yeah.
what was going on. But no, I only guessed it at AAC.
Mhm.
Um, my career in voiceover, I worked for Barbara Harris Casting, a very famous casting director who cast, thousands of movies. And but it was a very tight group, and I didn't alienate myself from anyone in that I had met, doing anime and working at Intersound and working on Robotech and other shows. But we were a very tight group, and I didn't really branch out at all for 30 years. I worked
Wow.
exclusively for Barbara. So
Wow.
that was cool. That was wonderful. I had a great career. I had wonderful retirement now. But I missed a lot of stuff with my buddies that worked on Robotech, like Kramer and Big. Good grief. I love getting older. Um, that fudge, what's his name?
Okay, he's probably not
Richard
listening.
Epcar. He's a
Gar.
Epcar and all those guys that went on. Sadly, we lost Bob Barron, who was the main director and supervisor of the Robotech project. He passed from cancer. I guess it's been about 25 years now.
Wow.
And then, of course, we also lost the producer of Robotech to a similar early departure. But I didn't really branch out. I stayed pretty much a member of the looping group and worked pretty exclusively for 30 years. So I didn't have a lot of different experiences, but I had a lot of different experiences with different shows working for Barbara. So that was great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That was very
You're
fun.
like one of those little like hidden gem people, honestly, because I mean, you worked on so much stuff, and nowadays, I mean, probably back when you were getting started with things, conventions weren't like that big of a thing as they are now.
No, they really weren't. It's well, I mean, my mind was blown at the first another anime convention. I had such a great time, but I had no concept of uh, you know dress play cosplay. I didn't know what cosplay was,
Yeah.
uh, and so I was amazed. I loved it. I just loved the enthusiasm and everyone getting together and just having a blast. I mean, it truly convention is a very special couple of days.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
wild ride. You just like it
it
was.
is. It is a wild ride, but I had so
Honestly,
much
you just never know
fun.
what you're gonna expect there, especially with like the people that like come up to you and stuff. Like what they're gonna bring for you to sign and anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, like I was fortunate enough to guest with several in the two shows that two another anime conventions that I did. I was fortunate enough to guest with very giving, sweet uh, fellow voice actors, and we just had a blast. And of course, I got to meet you
Me?
the Katy Hunt.
Yeah, I know. Woo! In comparison,
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
oh
you're
yeah,
awesome,
me.
girl. You are awesome. Yeah, no, you're pretty cool. You're
Well,
a special
it's funny
person.
because I've told people a million times like you're one of my favorite guests that I ever got to meet. Like, and then just like Guy to me because now we're just kind of friends on Facebook and
Which I
we chat
love.
every once in a while, comment
Hmm.
on each other's stuff, and it's wild to me. Um, but I was thinking about it the other day. It's like the first AAC that you went to was not as big as the second one that you went to because you went to the very first one,
Yes.
and it was a little quieter because I think there might have only been like maybe 1,500 people there at that one.
Yeah, yeah. Only there were only
Only,
1,500 people. Yeah,
only.
exactly.
And I just remember it was funny. That was actually the very first convention that I ever hosted an event at.
Oh, really?
It really was.
So
Yeah,
AAC was we did first
we
together.
sure did. Yeah. It's funny. I kind of got dragged into it by my friends. They were like, I was just going to help. And it turned into, hi, we don't have somebody to co-host the masquerade. And right before that, I um, I just like left college for theater
Mm-hmm.
just because I didn't feel like I was like getting anywhere with it. And I was like, I don't even know if this is something that I really want to do. Like I was like, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I just thought I did when I was in high school because it was fun, like it was a hobby.
Exactly.
And I just remember, like, we did the masquerade. You were a guest judge at the masquerade, right?
I was.
Yep. So you sat there the whole time and you watched a shoe get thrown at me and everything else. And
it was
I
wild.
yeah, it was wild. And I just remember like the end of the day, like the end of a convention day, and it was exhausting because like you do a lot of work at those things. And I just remember it was you and Lisa up in the green room,
Hmm.
and you saw me, and you said to me that I was the funniest person you'd ever seen.
You're
You,
absolutely, you're so talented in front of people. It's glib and connected and funny, and yeah, you're wonderful. You're a
and I
wonderful hostess.
and I took that with me, and now the career that I have doing this is because of you. And I wanted you to know that.
Oh, sweetheart, thank
Like
you.
the
That's
confidence that I have when I go on stage that I do at like Anime Boston now and stuff. Like I think back, I'm like, you know what? Greg Finley thought I was good enough, so I'm probably okay.
you are you are a-okay. And I
So,
am touched. I'm truly touched, and that's
well,
the
thank you.
sweetest
No, I just wanted you to
that's the
know that because I
sweetest
don't think I ever got to tell you that because that second time you came to AAC was, whew, that was like a whole different experience.
Yeah, but over that one, the drive in from the airport when you introduced me to Hamilton,
Yep.
and I love that show.
And Patty
I'd
came
never
with
heard
you.
it before.
Yep. And
Yeah.
Patty was there to experience it too because she ever been to a convention before?
No, she had never been to an anime convention before.
Yeah. So that was a new thing for the both of you.
Yeah, and wide-eyed. She was very wide-eyed, and oh yeah, wow, can't believe this is so cool.
Yeah, but that was honestly because I knew before, like I said, talking to you the first time that we'd met briefly because we talked a bit at the first convention, but then we talked more once I got to, I guess, be your guest wrangler the second time.
Yes, you were my guest wrangler.
Yes, your guest
I've
wrangler, your friend,
depended
your little
upon you for everything, where to be, where to eat, where to drink. It was great.
liaison.
It was great.
And it was just funny to me standing there because we had to when we were guesting, we had to stay with our guests most of the time, especially at signings.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember the line of people coming up, and I expected it all to be Robotech, honestly, because it's an anime convention. And then people were coming up with The Crow and Ace Ventura. And I remember looking at you and going, Ace Ventura? Where were you in Ace Ventura?
Oh yeah, I remember. That was that was in Ace Ventura. I was the voice of the Eagles mascot at the very end,
You
who scared
sure
away
were.
the pigeon. Yeah, I
I
got to
love
write
that
that line that I
movie.
said too.
Oh, but it's just like some of the stuff people came up with for you to sign because they must have
It
gone on
was so cool.
IMDb and then hit up like a store down the street.
That was
I was just like, you were in that? Yep. You were, yep, that too. Yep. And I'm just like, what? And I think that's
yeah,
when we kind of really figured out.
from 1983 through 2013.
Uh huh.
Like I said, I did about 3,000 movies and TV shows. So
Well, I mean,
it's
slacker.
always fun to watch you look at the TV guide and go, yep, did that and that and that and that.
Yep.
I feel very blessed. I had a very blessed career. I
Like I
was
said,
very
I
blessed.
just assume now that you're in everything. So when I watch something, I'm like, yeah, Greg Finley was in that.
The fun thing to do is look for me on the on-camera parts from 1974 through 1982.
Oh yeah.
They're crazy. Yeah, because I don't look anything like I look now, of course, because I'm in 73, but
What are you
my
talking about?
gosh,
You're still a handsome guy. I probably could
I
spot
almost
you.
had hair back then.
Well, yeah, that'll probably throw me.
I look more like Captain Global than I did General Leonard, and now I only look like General Leonard.
Well, I think I spotted you in something. You played a police officer, right?
Yes.
Um,
Many, many
God, and
times.
I can't remember what it was now. It was one of those like late night, like it was TV Land or something.
Uh-huh.
And I forget what the TV show was, but I know it was you. I
Was it?
remember. I was
Well,
like,
let's see. Let's see. Perfect Strangers.
Yes, yes,
And the guy I played was Officer Finley.
yes.
That was the
That's
title
it.
of my
I knew
character.
it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Oh, I love that show. Of course, you were all
Uh,
bad. You're in everything.
you have it everything.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong too. You did Star Trek, right?
I did many, many Star Treks. I did I guess, about seven of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager. like I said, I was very fortunate to have a wonderful career. I was very lucky.
That's crazy.
It is
That's
crazy.
awesome. That's such a cool, like, I mean, that's just such a cool thing. Like, you were in so many things. And like I said, like, it's just like you kind of made up like people's childhoods and stuff too. Like, again, you just one of those people, you just don't think about it and you're like, no way. He was in that. Of course he was in. You were in, yep, yep, yep.
Well, I was the first voice to record "We Are the Borg. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated." That was my. I was the first one to record that line, and then there were five guys there: Chuck Bartlett and Charles Bazaldua, and I think anyway,
Hmm.
it was. It turned out to be the Borg. We were the Borg.
Yeah, the Borg. Yes.
The Borg. Yeah. But like I said, I feel I'm just so grateful for that I had the opportunity to do those shows. It was just so.
Yeah. So wait, 7 of the movies. So did you work on the Journey Home?
Yes,
What did you do in the Journey Home? I love that one.
I didn't do the whale voice.
Oh, damn it! I was really hoping you were the whale. Like every part of me forgot that he was the whale.
I did security guards at the naval base, and sometimes, I mean, in several of the movies I did, that was the voice of Starbase Command, talking to Kirk on the intercom.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
never saw the face, but it was me.
Right, it's just like that last minute add in kind of. Oh, we need a voice here, right?
Well, yeah, they do that a lot
Yeah,
because they record the principal actors only on the sets, and
sure.
everything put in afterward is the sound designer and the sound editor's ideas, and we hopefully we bring their ideas to life.
That's
And that
crazy.
was
Okay.
very yeah,
Well,
very
now I
it was,
know that you're like everybody in Star Trek. And for if anybody asks me, I'm just gonna tell them you were the whale because it just makes.
no, no, I actually had this. I learned, I had to learn Klingon. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, like, do you remember any of the Klingon or
No, no, not a chance. I think that was Klingese.
Klingies?
Klinglish. Klinglish. There we go. There's a
English.
new word.
Actually, that's funny because at first AAC, everybody there was a woman that came and everybody just called her Con Mom. I honestly I can't remember her name for the life of me, but I remember she used to go to conventions like all over the place. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember that she was going to see you during one of your signings, but I wasn't watching you at that point, so I don't know if she actually talked to you or not. But she was like fluent in Klingon, and I think she honestly thought that you would like be able to talk to her.
No, it was.
No.
We would get before recording a session. We would get assignments like learn everything there is to know about nuclear physics, or
Sure, yeah,
everything there is to know about cancer treatments and
right.
stuff like that. But learning Klingon was most of the time they wrote out the actual Klingon that they wanted us to say, and
Hmm.
then other than that, we made up our own stuff out of the dictionary. But a lot of it probably really wouldn't translate.
Yeah, no,
Not
I mean Klingon
not
to me,
too
anyways,
good.
is kind of like a bunch of that,
Not too good. Not too good.
right? Just grunting. It's like, oh, oh.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, I mean, I'm excited that you've got a new project. I didn't know you were working on something. I thought you were
Yes,
already
yes. I
done.
mean, the last time I recorded was just like March of 2020, which of course was the beginning of the end of the studio work.
Right,
So I
obviously.
was
Yeah, yeah,
down in
yeah.
LA and recorded. I think the what will be the last thing that I recorded on it, and now it's just a matter of them, animating everything around our voices and
Sure,
finishing
sure.
up. But the stuff that I've seen is just wonderful, and I think it'll be very successful. And
Before
it has
the
to do with
secret,
the environment. It has to do with saving the environment. And it's a
hey,
real cartoon. It's good. I think it's gonna be good. Who
everybody's
knows?
down for that.
Like, yes, indeedy.
Everybody's down for that. So before the secret project, what was the last thing that you recorded that like you can recall? Like the last project you worked on before you like quote unquote retired.
I'm gonna say there's a god there. Like now, it was a religious film,
Ah.
and it was about there is a God. God's not dead. God is not dead, or something like that. Was that?
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last thing I worked on.
That's funny. I just saw a preview for that for something the other day.
Yeah, because there's God's Not Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on that also. That was the one I actually worked on. I worked on God's Not Dead, and then I worked on God's Not Dead 2. But that was the last time I worked.
Okay, okay. But otherwise, you've been enjoying the retired life, I'm sure.
I'm loving it here in Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah, golf, and more golf, and the kids and both of my boys and two of my daughters live here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my grandkids are here, so I mean, it's just we're having a wonderful life.
Yeah, I mean, I get the Christmas card. Looks like you guys are having a hell of a time out there.
we really are. Yeah, it's great. We just
That's
love it.
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
Greg, I mean, thank you so much again for coming on and doing this little podcast with me. I appreciate it. I love talking to you.
I adore you, young lady, and I'm grateful to be here with you. And anytime.
And you know what? I ask my guests at the end of each episode to promote something. Obviously, we can't promote your new project because we can't really talk about it. But if there's anything else that you would like to promote that's near and dear to your heart, now's the time to do it.
Watch X-Files in any rerun that you can and request it again and again and again because I am all of the puffs and breaths of the smoking man and most of the monsters.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Well, thank you again, Greg. I appreciate it. It's been wonderful talking to you. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you again in person.
And it'll happen soon, I hope.
Yes, someday I will make it to Idaho. You will be
Or
the
I will
reason I
make
go
it
to
back to
Idaho.
another convention and I'll just see you.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Katie. Good night, everybody.